Welcome to the Life's Hard, Succeed Anyway podcast, where you will hear transformational stories, positive encouragement, and practical strategies to help you grow your mindset, reach your potential, live your dreams, and experience a purpose-driven, impact-filled life. Here's your host, Allan Blain.
All right, this is Allan Blain, and I am super excited for this special behind-the-scenes episode. I'm going to be sharing with you why I wrote the book that just launched 2 days ago called Life's Hard, Succeed Anyway, the same name as this podcast. For those of you that are viewing this on our brand new YouTube channel, Life's Hard, Succeed Anyway, you can see I'm holding up a photo, a printed version of the book. I haven't even got the hard copy in my hand yet from the publisher, but super, super excited that this just launched 2 days ago. The subtitle of the book is Stop Settling and Seize the Life You Were Created For. Does anybody want to stop settling? Or maybe you feel like in some area of your life, or maybe just overall, you're settling and you're done with that. You're over it. I do not want to waste my life. I want my life to count. I want to stop settling and seize the life I was created for. If that's you, I think you're going to be so encouraged by this book. At least I pray that you are, and I trust that you will be. It just launched 2 days ago in hardback, paperback, all the formats, audiobook, and ebook or Kindle. And I'm super excited. So that was October 10th, 2023, it launched. And by the way, I'm going to share here a little bit into this episode a free gift where you can possibly win either a $500 gift card, your choice, a $500 gift card or $1,000 worth of free coaching from me, as well as where everybody can get, if you want to, access a free almost 5-minute portion or segment or excerpt from the audiobook. If you want to just get a sneak peek of what it is, kind of a sample to listen to, I'm going to direct you where you can go to find that. So just a quick little backstory of why I wrote the book. You know, I talked about a little bit of this really dark season in my life that happened nearly 10 years ago now in episode 1. So if you heard episode 1, you heard a little bit of that story, but I want to share just a little more here. And then I want to go into, again, why I wrote the book. And then I want to share some of the nuggets and the value, a little bit of the information that I put in the book. And then we'll wrap it up. But, you know, that dark season in my life, you know, like I said, almost 10 years ago, if I skip past all the other things, other challenges and adversity I'd had in my life up to that point, such as the significant health problems my bride of now 31 years, Nicole, faced about 25 years ago, early into our marriage, 6 years or so into our marriage. If I skip past the seizures that our now 25-year-old daughter faced at age 9, I guess that was 16 years ago now, and past the season of our now 28-year-old daughter, her diagnosis with cancer at age 14, which was 14 years ago. And I jump right to my parents' divorce, essentially. My parents had been married 43 years. They were, I thought, rock solid, cornerstone. I don't know if cornerstone's probably not the right word, but a pillar of our family. I'm the oldest of 4 children. I have one younger brother and 2 younger sisters. And during this season, again, roughly almost 10 years ago, my parents divorced. My dad started cheating on my mother. He left my mother for another woman, was doing some very disgraceful and embarrassing things for himself, first and foremost, the God that he said he represented, and our whole family. This led to, during this season, my younger sister, 39 years old at the time, mother of 4, soccer mom, PTA mom, awesome lady, happily married, taking her life. Went through that. Around the same time, my only other sister was arrested and later convicted on felony charges in a court case that drug on for maybe a couple years there in our local town where we all grew up. And my only other sibling, which was my brother and business partner, Kevin, and dear friend, who took his life. So this was an incredibly rough, difficult season, and I don't want to just go deep into that right now. But the reason I'm sharing this with you is because it relates to the book. In fact, it relates to this podcast. It was a super tough season in my life, and I didn't handle it right in many ways. But one of the biggest things I did wrong was I started drinking and ended up with a DUI. And as many of you may or may not know, formerly, at the time I was in construction, I was a general contractor. We were flipping homes and building homes and investing in real estate and managing real estate. We had a property management division as well, and having a lot of success on the outside. Outwardly, it looked like, hey, Allan had it all, going on. What they didn't realize is what was really going on. And I think that's the case for so many people. We only see surface level deep in other people's lives. But anyway, what you may not know is years before that, I was a police officer. I was a California Highway Patrol officer for about 5 years. I spent about another year and a half as a police officer for a PD in the Atlanta area as well. But I had been a police officer in my past. I was the guy that arrested the DUIs. And here I was finding myself humiliated in a jail cell with a DUI. So that season of my life was incredibly difficult. That was a season that caused me a lot of reflection and a lot of questioning what I was doing, why I was doing it, who I was doing it with. I'm so grateful I had such a faithful, loving, incredible wife in Nicole, and that my children were just awesome and troopers going through all of that. But I really started to evaluate, what am I doing? Why am I doing it? And long story short, through that process, God led me to changing careers. So Nicole and I had started in 2015. We started a business on the side, a home-based business, and God bless that business. I still had my full-time job working 50, 60 hours a week. She had her full-time job homeschooling our 6 children at the time. And God blessed that business to be able to pay the bills on the income it started generating after 16 months. I walked in, I gave my interest in my company away, walked away from that industry, the construction industry, to do what Nicole and I now do, to continue doing what we were doing part-time, full-time. And it's been amazing. Well, as a result, and the reason I tell you all that is because in our current occupation, our current business, over the last now about 8 years, I've done a lot of coaching, a lot of training, teaching, speaking, and I've met a lot of people. We've had thousands of people join our organization and all across the country. I've met so many amazing and unique individuals. It's been so much fun. But one of the things I started realizing was how strong of limiting beliefs so many people had. And we all have them to one degree or another. We all have limiting beliefs. I don't know what yours are, but everybody has some sort of limiting beliefs that's holding them back. Maybe just a little, maybe a lot. And as I'm coaching and having conversations with various people that wanted to achieve success, we talk a lot about success. The name of this podcast, Life's Hard, Succeed Anyway. Well, we start talking about, well, what is success? Success is so much more, to me anyway, and I hope to you, than just professional success or financial success, material success. Success to me is success in relationships, being relationship rich, first and foremost with the creator of the universe, my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Also, secondly, relationship rich with my wife, in our marriages, and with our children, with our family, and it going out from there to our other associations and friendships and network. Being physically fit and healthy is success, a big part of success to me. And of course, finances and professional success, absolutely. But it's all of that. To have one without the other, to me, is not true success. But as I'm coaching and training these people, I'm taking you back a few years, and we would be talking about their goals, their dreams, their desires in these various arenas of life. I just mentioned some of them: spiritually, personally, professionally, financially, physically. I started hearing excuses of why they believe those limiting beliefs again, why they believe something they really wanted was unattainable for them, or possibly unattainable for them. And it took me a while, and God had to do a work in my heart, but it took me a while to become vulnerable enough as God continued to work on me to share with people, starting off just one-on-one, one-off conversations that grew to stages and conference calls and Zooms and now podcasts. But as I started having even these one-on-one conversations and coaching calls with people and sharing some of my real life trials, challenges, adversity that I had been through and that I was still going through. We're still going through some major challenges right now in life, some hard things. And I expressed this and shared it. I could see others' excuses fading away. I could see, first of all, I would see people's eyes about pop out of their head when I started to share some of these things that I've shared in my book. Wow, I had no idea, they would say. I had no idea. And you were able to build, by God's grace, a thriving multi-million dollar business from your phones. You're able to have a relationally rich, incredible marriage 31 years into this with all that you've been through. And it wasn't always amazing like it is today. And you're able to be fit and healthy, even amidst all these challenges that are pulling at you. Well, if you can do it going through what you've been through, maybe, just maybe, there's hope for me. And they wouldn't always articulate it that way back to me, but that's what I saw in their eyes. That's what I heard in their voice was, if I had to put it in one word, hope. I heard hope. I saw hope. And it did something inside of me that made me want to do it more. When I say do it more, I mean share more, be more vulnerable, be more open with wisdom, of course. But I wanted to do this more on a bigger level and help more people. So what did I do? I had the idea to write a book. Life's Hard, Succeed Anyway. And so I started on the book. It's probably been about 2 years ago now. We're in 2023. So this is probably 2021. Start writing the book. Well, months pass, quarters pass, a year passes, more than a year passes. And it was September of 2022 that about a year ago, a little over a year ago, that I realized I'm not making much headway on this book. What am I going to do? This might take me 10 years to get the book done. And this message that's in my heart to offer hope to people, I couldn't contain it. So God gave me the idea to start this podcast. So the idea was, well, hey, maybe it is going to take me a while to write the book, and that's okay. It's not about my story anyway. It's about offering hope and help and practical mindsets and strategies and principles that are so important to live a successful life, physically, relationally, spiritually, financially, in all the ways. So the idea and the concept was, well, let's start a podcast, which we did September 2023. We launched episode number 1. Didn't know what I was doing. Still don't know much about what I'm doing. Just figuring it out as we go, which is really difficult for me because I'm a type A perfectionist. I want to get all my T's crossed and my I's dotted, know all the answers before I get to the question. But that's not reality. That's not how we get anywhere. And I'm learning that later in life now at 51 years old. So I launched the podcast, right? But the idea was, I'm going to interview other people. Everyone has a story. I'm going to bring other successful people on the show every week and ask them some of the questions I want to know about their struggle, their challenges, and their success. So we all together can learn from them, be encouraged by them, be inspired by them. And that's how Life's Hard, Succeed Anyway, the podcast started. Well, it's been phenomenal. And by the way, I just want to thank you. I want to take this moment to thank you for being a listener. Thank you for supporting this podcast. Thank you for sharing it with others you think it will encourage. It has blown my mind, the success and the reach that the podcast has had only a little over a year into it now. This is episode 56. So 56 episodes, 56 weeks into it. We are now ranking globally out of, I don't know how many millions of podcasts in the world, top 2%. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And just want to thank you for sharing it with others, however you choose to do that. But that being said, about 6 months ago, Podcast is going great. At that time, we were about 6 or 7 months into the podcast. God brought to mind just the importance of finishing what I started and being a strong finisher. There's many beginners, there's many starters in this world, in life and in things, right? Many people start things. There's very few finishers, I've learned. And I want to be a finisher. I want to finish strong in whatever I do. So about 6 months ago, I got really serious about finishing the book, finishing it, getting it done, and made this a big focus. And I'm so grateful that it's done and it's out there in the world. It's my story, but it's so much more. You may ask, well, what is the book about? In it, I share many of the lessons I've learned now at, I already said, age 51, and I've made many mistakes, many failures, and I continue to fail in different areas of my life. But what I've committed to doing is being a lifelong learner, to assess what went wrong. Maybe it's something out of my control. Maybe it's a choice I made or an action or a step I took. Assessing that, evaluating what needs to be done different next time, and doing it again, getting back up, falling 7 times and getting up 8. Okay, that's a little key to success right there. One of many, but you fall however many times you fall, just get up one more time than you fall, and you keep taking one step forward, putting one foot in front of the other. And that's what I've done and what I've committed to continuing to do. But so the book is intended to help people. I do share my story, and I share many of these difficult things I've been through with full disclosure, and also again the mindsets and the lessons learned as a result of it, because with the intent of helping others avoid the mistakes that I've made, A, and also B, so that you can be prepared for the storms of life that are coming your way. The reason you see on the cover there's a yacht or a boat on the sea going from a dark thunderstorm into beautiful water, blue skies, is because the whole book is themed water, okay, and waves. I start off in the beginning of the book telling the story about how I almost died. I literally was on death's door from a surfing accident in college 32 or so years ago. And I also view challenges as waves. That just is an analogy that for me is a picture that makes sense. And challenges, adversity, trials, whatever you want to call them, the Bible says in John 16:33, I have that verse on my social media profile because I want to be reminded. He told us in advance, in this world, you will have trouble. There will be challenges. Here's my translation. You will have challenges. You will have adversity. You will have trials. But he goes on to say, but be of good cheer, or take heart, or, you know, chin up, son or daughter, because I've overcome the world. And so the thing is we are going to go through hard times. We've all already been through some sort of hard time, no doubt, if we've lived any number of years, but there's more ahead is the point. They're like waves. We're either entering them, we're in the middle of the wave right now, the storm, or we're just passed out the other side and we're heading towards the next one. So the objective of the book was to help us be better prepared for the waves or the storms, to be able to sail through them, to not panic, to have the right foundation laid and mindsets and community around us so that we can weather the storms of life as we go through them, because it's not a matter of if we're going to go through them, it's the matter of when we're going to go through them. And also the intent of the book is to help us be at a place where we're able to not just weather the storms, but to grow through them, to let them mold us and develop us, to not cause them to make us bitter, but to be better, to develop us into a better, more effective version of ourselves that are more useful. My desire for you is that you'd be more useful, and for me as well, more useful to others around you, starting with your family, your community, your church, going out from there. And ultimately to help others live a more successful life. And again, I want to keep taking us back to my definition of success. Success in all the areas of life, maximizing our gifts, talents, and abilities that God has given us and opportunities He's put in our lap to the best of our abilities each and every day. That's my definition of success. If I'm doing that, that is success, and making progress to that end. Some of you, how will it help you as a reader, the book? I mean, we all have challenges. Some are acute challenges, like examples of acute challenges are our daughter with cancer. That was a season of life where we had this major acute challenge. My brother's suicide, another acute challenge, and the list goes on. Other challenges are chronic. Maybe a chronic health condition someone has to live with for years and decades. Maybe a family member, like we still have, our oldest daughter. Maybe it's a family member in years of addiction. Maybe that's a spouse for you, or a child, or a mother, or parent, father, sibling. Maybe it's a job or career that sucks the life out of you on a regular basis. I don't know. But it was to empower and assist and help you at whatever phase of life you might be in. So, some things in the book that we talk about, and I'll begin to wrap this up, but is the importance of our what, our why, and our who. That's our vision. What is the vision for our life? What is the purpose behind that vision? What is our reason? What are we passionately pursuing? And why are we passionately pursuing this thing or these things? And who's our tribe? Who is our community that we're pursuing these things with? And I go into the importance of all three of those and how to develop those three things clearly and the importance of doing so. Chapters in the book, in case you're curious, the introduction starts off because life's hard. And then we go into life's not a beach. It's not, is it? Part one, treading water, when life hits you, the backup boat, rising above the waves, thriving in the waves. This is the sequence of the book, okay? The staging area, talking about building an ark and using that figurative language, crafting a compelling vision, riding the waves, seizing the life you were created for, and the final chapter, life can be a beach, okay? Life's not a beach, but life can be a beach. So those are the chapters of the book. Despite popular opinion, life's not a beach. The truth is, everyone has pain, and the next wave of adversity is coming. I know this firsthand. On the outside, many people believed I was doing just fine. I had a great job, a beautiful wife and children, and a growing bank account. At the same time, the riptide of personal addictions, family tragedies, and unthinkable loss pulled me under, threatened my safety and my sanity. The waves, in air quotes, forced me to reevaluate everything I was doing, my calling, my purpose, the very definition of success. I emerged from that dark season with a simple path to build a, quote, boat that could withstand the storms and succeed despite life's challenges. There's a lot of scripture and Bible references in this book. Why? Because my identity and the foundation of everything we build our life upon must be on Christ, who is the rock. In this book, you're going to discover three main things and a lot of other things, but three main things: how to stop settling and give up just treading water personally and professionally, number one. Number two, how to craft a compelling vision big enough to help you rise above the crests. And three, how to seize the abundant life you were created for so that you can ride high on the waves. I want to share 4 of the many reviews that we got on the book. I let several friends of mine read the book early, several weeks before it launched, when it was still in draft form. And I just want to share with you what just a few of them have said. The first one is NFL wide receiver, my friend Cody Hollister. And he said, the book is exhortation in the highest degree. It encourages the risk-taking, God-glorifying, faith-walking life that Jesus calls us to. You'll leave with a recalibration of trials, success, and the adventure we were never called to stop living. I love that, Cody. Thank you. This one's from Zach Terrell. He was the Western Michigan quarterback in 2016, and also that year, the academic Heisman Trophy winner. Zach said that this book is an inspiration for anyone facing life's challenges. That's all of us, right? He opens up about personal stories that he's overcome and shows you that success is about embracing adversity and perseverance. Love that. This book is a roadmap to triumph, a reminder that with resilience and determination, we can conquer any obstacle, a must read for those seeking to thrive despite life's hardships. Well, another one here is from Joyce Martin Sanders. She's part of the group, The Martins. They have 8 Dove Awards and 3 Grammy nominations to their name and counting. She said, Allan and Nicole's enthusiasm for life is evident. This book is an extension of their mission to make the world a better place. The pages are filled with their life lessons learned, heartbreaks, yep, and triumphs. Allan bravely shares so that people who want to reach their highest potential while navigating the ups and downs of life can find success that only comes when you embrace it and take action. And the last one I'll share with you is from our friend John Christ. He's a comedian. He's also the author of the best-selling book, Delete That. And John said, my life motto is this: if you want to be successful, read books written by people who are successful. Makes sense. He said, that's Allan Blain, by God's grace. Finance and business success, sure, but Allan is a guy who has also found success in his personal life, spiritual life, and family life. So often I see finance books written by people who are broke, he says, and weight loss books written by people who are overweight. As a guy who knows Allan personally, he's the poster child of success. I don't know about that, but thank you, John. There's many others, and it really meant a lot to me. Thank you to everybody that took the time to read the book in advance and give your opinion, your feedback, your endorsement of it. It really, really, really means a lot to me. I want to wrap up by sharing with you a couple things, and then I told you I'd give you a special gift here, how to get it. But I want you to know that all profits from this book is just something that Nicole and I decided. All profits from this book are going to be given to the Adult and Teen Challenge Ministry, which, for those of you that may not be familiar with Adult and Teen Challenge, it's an extremely affordable, which I love, because I know not everybody can afford, a $5,000 or $10,000 a month program. It's a very affordable Bible-based Christian recovery ministry for teens and adults, both male and female, who struggle with alcohol and drug addiction. And I love it for many reasons, but one of the reasons I love it is because they don't turn anybody away. If somebody cannot afford to pay anything, they will still take them. And that means a lot to me. It's why Nicole and I support the ministry. Also, if you don't know anything about it, it may or may, I mean, as huge as addiction and substance abuse is in our nation and beyond, I know this podcast is going out to some, I think 30 some countries. It's prevalent everywhere. But I know here in our home country, and even in just in North America in general, it's huge problem. And this was a program that was founded by David Wilkerson in 1958. And interestingly enough, his story of going to the inner city gang members and ministering to them and leading some of the leading gang members at the time, back in the 50s, I believe it was, to the Lord, and the transformation that took place in their lives, was put together in a book called The Cross and the Switchblade, which my father read to me as a child. A great book from what I recall. I haven't read it recently, but I remember it being a very entertaining book and a very meaningful book. But anyway, today there's over 1,000. Here's my plug for Adult and Teen Challenge. I'm just so passionate about it, and I'll tell you why here in a minute. But there's over 1,000 Adult and Teen Challenge centers now around the world, and it has become the largest, most successful, and get this, because you know someone that needs to hear this, addiction recovery program of its kind. Now, a little unique, maybe the center offers 12-month to 18-month residential program. So it's not a 30-day program. It's a minimum 1 year. And they're designed to help men, women, adolescents learn how to live, not just drug-free, but by offering them a balance of structured living, Bible classes. I mean, it is 100% Bible focused, Bible based, and teaching them to be productive disciples for the kingdom of God. And I don't know how much you may know about recovery programs and rehab. I didn't say this earlier, but I had to go to a 30-day rehab as a result of a sentencing from my DUI many years ago, when I was talking about that dark season in my life and making some poor choices. And I learned during that season that it's something like it's single digits success rates with recovery centers. It's like 3 to 7%, something like that is what I hear most often. Okay, let's say at best 7 or 8 or 9% of people that graduate one of those programs, other than Adult and Teen Challenge, will remain clean for whatever they consider, I think 5 years maybe. Adult and teen challenge, their success rate is not single digits, it's 70+%. And the reason why I'm really excited about this ministry and why we're giving all profits to the ministry from the sale of this book, all versions of the book, is that our 19-year-old son Braden has been in the program since October 2022 and graduates here in just a few more days here in October 2023, and is just doing phenomenally. And I'm beaming inside and out thinking about what God's done in his life. So for whatever that's worth, if you do purchase a book of any format, you can know where any profits are going. So lastly, as I close, we want to do a giveaway. We're going to give away either a $500 gift card or a $1,000 worth of free one-on-one coaching for me personally to one lucky winner. And the way you get entered in the drawing, if you'd like to, I hope many of you do, is that during the month of October, okay, 2023, as of this recording coming out and airing here this year, you have three options. Option A, to get one entry into the drawing, is purchase a book, any format, doesn't matter. Take a screenshot of it or a picture of it and email it to me at support@allanblain.com. And Allan is spelled ALLAN Blain, BLAIN.com. Okay. So email support@allanblain.com with a screenshot of your purchase and you're entered to win. Option B, for 2 entries to win, post that picture or screenshot of your purchase, or it could be you holding the book if you get the physical copy in time, on social media, like a story on Instagram or Facebook story, and tag me at Allan B. Blain, ALLAN, B as in boy, and then Blain, BLAIN, for 2 entries to win. And the way you get 3 entries to win is to do that, post a story and tag me, and write a review. The reviews will help so much get this message out. And again, we're not going to make any profits from the book, but we want to encourage as many people as possible. And as I understand it, I'm a novice author, but as I understand it, the more reviews like on Amazon we get, the more chances, I guess, the book will be seen by other people. So really appreciate your help. And even if you're hearing this long after October 2023, and you will tag me in a story, maybe you holding a picture of you holding the book, or maybe just the book. If you don't want to be in the picture, that's okay. But tag me at Allan B. Blain on social media in a story, and I'd love to repost your picture, and I'll do my very best to do that. So if you're willing to write a review, that would mean so much to me and Nicole, as it helps us, again, get these messages out. We want to encourage more people. Thank you so much. Where can you find the book? Where can you order it? Anywhere books are sold online. Anywhere. Amazon, Apple Books, Audible, Barnes & Noble, about 40 other retailers, as I understand. And by the way, in the book, there's some bonus resources that are all free. I've created an adversity assessment. I love this. It's really cool. It takes about 3 minutes to take. It's all online, and it will score your results, and it will really help you determine your level of resilience or vulnerability for the next challenge that you're going to be facing, whenever and whatever that is. So that's in there for free in the book. Something called a daydream discovery that I've created is also free in the book. It'll help you kind of clarify, what does your ideal day look like? I've created something called a life transformer, which is going to help you clarify the major arenas of your life. We talked about that a minute ago: professionally, spiritually, relationally, financially, personally, where you are now in those areas that you'd like to improve, where you would like those areas to be, and what you need to do to get there. So really, really helpful tool there. And then finally, an architect template is included in the book as well, which is a worksheet for determining what I referenced a minute ago: your what, your why, your who, your vision, your purpose, your community. So I hope those are a huge help and an encouragement to you if you take advantage of them. And lastly, if you want to hear the little almost 5-minute excerpt of the audiobook to determine if it's something you're interested in pursuing and purchasing or not for free, you can go to my website, allanblain.com/book. and hear that audio excerpt right there on the website for free. By the way, the instructions to enter the drawing for the $500 gift card or the $1,000 of free coaching and some of this information I've shared here, if you weren't taking good notes and you're driving and multitasking, it is included in the show notes below this episode. So check it out there. I want to thank you so much for joining me today. Have a wonderful rest of your day and God bless you. Thank you so much. Can't wait to hear what your feedback is on the book. I'd love to hear any comments, any feedback you have. Please share with me and make it a great day.
If you love this podcast, grab some of Allan's free resources on his website at allanblain.com, spelled ALLANBLAIN.com. You can also find links to Allan's Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok there in his contacts page. Lastly, if you can leave a 5-star review for us on your favorite podcast app, that will get these messages out to more people and it will really mean the world to us. Thanks in advance and make it a great day.